All right, so let's see. That's how I in. So BAC Touareg engine. Yeah, it is pretty much possible. In my case, luckily enough, my turbo, my manifold worked. There was no modification. I didn't have to leave the Touareg turbo in. The only thing I had to do is change that cover and drill a hole on the far side for one of the bolts to go in. The Touareg engine does not have it, but there is a space you can just drill through, which I did, and then actually the bolt goes in like that, so through the engine into the gearbox, so there's no tapping or anything like that. That worked well. Drilled the bolt went into the gearbox, and that's how. And else, no, I think that was it really. The what you call it, the gearbox fitted back on, the manifold, exhaust manifold and the turbo worked. So yeah, BAC 170 brakes, but I think I'm going to leave my ECU in this and just leave it 130 brakes, maybe get it remapped one day to the 140 or 170 and leave it as that, because I think the turbo on the Touareg might be slightly different. The injectors are from the Touareg, so I'd say if I was to copy the ECU, I'd probably get the 170. But do I want to do that? I don't know yet. I will just get a remapped. As far as I know, you can get 170 brake horsepower out of the AXD engine. So I'll just leave the ECU the way it was. I never took it out. Leave the ECU where it was and just get it remapped to 170 and leave everything the way it is. So one thing I was considering, I had this disconnected here before because I have one of the pipes broke, and I wonder, should I put this on, put the little connection onto this one while I have it here, while I'm at it, or will I just leave it and maybe put this on whenever I get the pipe sorted? I don't know. I think I'll just leave it off. It's safer, because just so it doesn't kick in and it doesn't break the compressor, because that compressor might still be just fine. So I'll just leave that there for the time being. I'll worry about that later. Other than that, this is all brand new. So I took that, pipes. That engine is more or less exactly the same, except for the timing cover, one hole, and there is a I don't know if you remember the starter. Where did I put that? And there has to be a little bracket cut off at the back, because the gearbox won't clear if you don't cut it off. So luckily enough, I just sliced it off, and everything works. Let me actually show you what I have. Right, so I can't see. Let's see, can I put flashlight? Yes, I can. Okay, so that's the bracket where the starter motor used to be. So I just cleaned that, cut it off right there, cut it off there, and drilled that hole. That hole had to be drilled, and as you can see, that goes into the gearbox. Other than that, the turbo is the same. Everything else is exactly the same. Now, as far as I know, by the looks of it, the sump is also different. It would probably work, but it won't, because it won't clear. It needs the AXD engine sump, because she's smaller and she will then clear under the subframe. Other than that, it's exactly the same engine. So if anybody's planning on putting a Touareg engine or buying a Touareg like I did, buy the whole car, cheaper to buy an engine, it will work. It's slightly more complicated than a straight swap, but it will work. So there you go.